Hello, welcome back to Disco Elysium. It's me, aproustian. So, first off, a small note. I don't know if the audio is going to sound different or not, but I'm not in my usual recording location. I am on a trip to visit my in-laws, and so I've taken over the PlayStation in the basement. And anyways, here we are, so I can still record. But I wanted to start from the title screen here because somebody mentioned in the comments that this shot of the city seems to be from the sniper's nest. And it's like, oh my god, it is, isn't it? Like, or at least that island, right? So you've got the church below us and Martinez to the left across the way, and like once it moves back, I assume we'll be able to see the whirling in rags. That is incredible that this has been here the entire time, and I never noticed. Well, partly because this is just the screen you zip past. If anything, I was always just struck by the beauty of like the sunset and the city lights, because it is beautiful. Um, Anyways, let's continue. Last time I saw the Phasmid, which was a really incredible experience. Like, even as a player, like, it's clearly an incredible experience for Harry, but it was really cool for me. Okay, so let's see. It's been a little bit. Let me remember. I have lots of skill points still if I need them. Um. Oh, the return. Use the boat to return to the mainland. Okay, yeah, and I still haven't done these. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to or not. I guess, we'll find out. Either way, it's fine. Wow, okay, so I've still got a couple of thoughts happening. Oh, can it only think about one at a time? Or is it thinking about both of these? I guess they're both going? I chose long ones because I thought they would be more interesting, and now I'm like, what if I'm so close to the end of the game I don't get to see them? It is what it is. Okay. So back to our boat, which I don't think I can go... I can't go that way. Okay, just checking. I think I explored everything pretty thoroughly in here, so...
Elysium.
What's this?
This feels familiar somehow.
What's feels familiar? Okay, Kim, what is the ICM?
Insul Indian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army, the black and white army of the Revolution.
Oh, this must be triggered because of something on the building, and I just didn't see it when I came in.
Sounds an awful lot like.
RCM.
It does.
Why?
The RCM may descend from the ICM.
May?
It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals.
He looks toward the darkened doorway.
Nice political thoughts rush through your neocortex. It's going to be hard to say them. Carrying around all that weight on a busted crutch is making you pant.
What I'm hearing is, we descend from the glorious Revolutionary Army.
There were all sorts of groups and groupuscules back then. It doesn't really matter.
He bows to inspect the barrel. Ah, the barrel. I see. A white star. Point to the star on the label.
No, an upside-down star.
Huh.
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
Are those specks stars too?
No, that's the uninhabited archipelago.
A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as the face in the sea.
Looks old. What's it still doing here?
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel.
Interesting. So it must be this. This barrel is what triggered that. Okay. God, the music. It's so good. It's so, like, haunting.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
This leads to the depot in Land's End.
Ah, yes, so it seems.
The lieutenant looks at the mechanism overhead. What do you think it was used for?
For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain.
As a defensive measure, lock it off that side of the bay.
Lock it from whom?
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's what we know, but, like... Again, some of these... Sometimes in the game, I feel like I get those triggers later than I was meant to. Like, I don't know if it's
The skiff is
because...
swaying on the waves by the dock.
because I passed through an area too quickly and it just doesn't trigger it, or what, but it's like, that would make more sense earlier on. But also, I don't really care. I don't mind. It's more flavor, it's more information. I'm not going to be too picky about when I get it. Alright, let's return to the mainland.
Let's. We are done here.
He says, adjusting his glasses as he looks out over the water. I think the only time it's been genuinely confusing was with the woman whose husband I found. Where there was a little bit of late something there. But otherwise, it's been alright. Okay. Now, what the heck is going to happen when we go back?
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you.
Ooh, that feels ominous.
You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
There is still that bunker we haven't gotten into. I remember that bunker. It was a red check. Okay.
Look what the tide brought him.
Jean-Vic Maire. Alright. Says the man without sunglasses. Suddenly his expression changes and he tilts his head.
Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen.
Oh, that's true.
This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags. But where are his sunglasses?
Wait, you're the man with sunglasses.
That's right. And you're bleeding.
Alright. Okay, forget about all of this. There's a giant.
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
He points at you with both hands. Okay, no one else seems bothered by the bleeding.
Bothered by it. Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant.
I mean, maybe.
Oh, fuck it. Let's not get into that.
It almost, you know what this vibe feels like a little bit? It feels like running into the Turks. 7. They're all like professional in their little suits. Anyways. Who are you people?
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstam. I believe we've met on several occasions.
That's right. I have met with you, Trent Heidelstamm.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Maire, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it.
He says, gesturing towards his companions.
Special Consultant Trent Heidelstamm, Battle Officer Judith Minot.
Oh. Wait, so Heidelstam is part of I thought he was the guy with the kid. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Hi.
Hi, Judith.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Thank you.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Precinct 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
He points to the sea fort.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
Oh dear.
We might need your help with something later.
He adds, suddenly regaining his confidence.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
We don't need to destroy them. Well, just say thank you, Lieutenant. He does not need to go out of his way here.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
She says warmly, flashing the lieutenant the tiniest of smiles.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
Alright, bring on the shitstorm. What is this about?
Ari, we want to help you. Trant, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
He's not enthusiastic about this.
No, Trump, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
Shit kid. What an interesting moniker.
What's a shit kid?
You. Shit kid? That's you.
Maybe you've deserved it.
Oh, damn. How did you know I was here?
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I gotta do this. Turn to face the general direction of the whirling and yell, "Damn you, cafeteria manager! You've betrayed me for the last time!"
Speaking of which, the giant aerografito in front of the building. The one that's burning. Did you do that?
Yeah, I lit it on fire. It was a poetic gesture.
I knew it. Didn't I tell you, Trant? I told you it was our shit kid.
Yeah, so the thing you don't know, Jean-Vicmer, is that we have solved this fucking case.
The line is from Lu Jiatun's Mirova 82, isn't it? About girl-child communism, the titular returning character to ghost the apparition of... Good choice, Harry.
He looks around, noticing the impatience of his companions, stops himself.
He is correct. It was the Seraïs poet Lu Jiatun who, in the 50s of the last century, composed her.
Don't encourage him, Trant.
But I was encouraged. My encyclopedia was going.
Okay.
Alright. You're not the man with sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde. Sure.
Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on.
I mean...
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
Indeed. I suspected something was off.
Did you? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long, Harry? Don't answer that. You don't remember.
Now that's true.
Absolutely no idea. 100 years?
Alright, I guess I'm gonna say this. I feel bad saying you never told me you're not the horse-faced woman. Point at her.
Lieutenant, my name is not horse-faced woman. It's Judith Minot. I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. I thought we were friends.
We're still friends. I just have a stupid head.
Okay. Because you're my commanding officer, I really want to respect you. I want us to have a normal relationship.
That feels like a stretch with Harry.
That will never happen, Jude. He's the rudest man on earth. He's the reason why the rest of us have to take sensitivity training. And I hate sensitivity training.
Okay, Trant Hiddlestam turns out to be Special Consultant Trant Hiddlestam.
Yes, I'm Tran Heilestam. I never said I wasn't Tran Heilestam.
Wait, what was up with the kid then? Yes, thank you. Thank you, there was a kid.
Mikhail? Mikhail is my son.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No problem.
So what are you special consulting here?
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
They're trying to figure out what's gone wrong with Harry.
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on.
Let's see, you mentioned a task force.
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Refresh my memory. Who else is in this?
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Tron fucking Heidelstam, and Guillaume Bevy.
He stares at you.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
Yeah, okay, first, who's Guillaume Bevy?
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit.
He's not smiling.
Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Tron because I'm forcing him to stay.
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses?
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde with sunglasses like you were?
See? There. He's getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me, I'm G. Bevy. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore.
Okay, so what does the unit do?
Do? It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
The 41st isn't...
He trails off, not wishing to finish the sentence. I don't blame you, Kim. You can stay out of this. Where have you been all this time?
Where have we been? We've been fucking off as far as I remember.
He crosses his arms.
You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die.
Okay, why didn't you detect or die then?
Oh, you think it was cool you saying that? Aesthetic somehow? You were crying when we got here. Breaking things. You said we were going into the abyss.
Oh dear.
None of us wanted to see the abyss. So we fucked off. Like you told us to.
Indeed. Okay, none of this is ringing any bells. Move on.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, pal, and so on.
Interesting.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Wait, socioeconomically? You think I'm so poor I lost my memory?
Not when you phrase it like that. But I don't think critical theory. I know everyone thinks this is far-fetched pink academia, but still, I don't think it should be off the table here.
What? He lost his memory because of capitalism?
No, not like that. I'm not talking for Hedeford's school here. But Harry, I asked you, what do you think happened?
Interesting. I feel like it's either something so sad happened that he couldn't be me anymore, or I drank so much I lost my memory and I'm slowly recovering it. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go with this. Earlier in the game, I would have gone with the prior one, but I think maybe we'll do this. Although, yeah, okay. Something so sad happened to me that I couldn't be me anymore. It was a defense mechanism.
Psychotraumatic amnesia, Trant? I can go for that. Shit kid is a broken man. Always has been. Who isn't? I know I am. But you know what? I keep my shit together. Also, I know a person can't wipe their own mind, however traumatic it gets. That doesn't happen. You're lying. Or insane. Or both.
He is so angry about all of this. And he's been angry this whole time. And I think it almost feels like I think he feels betrayed by Harry.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before.
She interjects. I have?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case. The other when we looked into that mural.
I remember those from reading in the police record thing, right?
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful.
It is kind of beautiful.
The two cases in your ledger. The unsolvable case and the
Yeah.
next world mural. Those were recent.
Right? I read
Those
those.
cases were hard on you.
So you drank a lot after those, too.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
Oh, now that is interesting. I did always assume that it was accidental. You know, like an unexpected side effect. I would not have put it as Harry did this on purpose. But actually, that sounds really likely.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here.
He gestures toward the scenery.
Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world team, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
He nods confidently.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in a major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
Interesting. Huh. Is Harry ready to lead again? You know what? Sure, he's ready to lead again.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension?
What now?
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
Oh dear. Well, the time has come to kill a sunset. I might as well go with honesty. I drove it into the ocean when I was drunk.
Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
Wait, my badge?
The thing that tells people you're a police officer.
Okay. I've got it right here.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand.
Okay. A red check, but proficient at catching small objects. Let's try it. Damn. Shit. Critical failure. God damn
You
it.
juggle the badge for a second, unsuccessfully, and it lands on the ground, some 2 meters away.
That thing, well, okay, it was only 72%, so a 1 and 2 would have failed anyways. But, like, god damn it. Okay.
Ouch! You strained your elbow trying to catch that stupid thing. Damn it.
He found it. He found it, Jean. It's his badge.
The patrol officer picks it up and gives it back to you, slippery and cold.
And your gun?
The man stares at you, unimpressed.
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements. What is it with all these material objects?
Interesting. My gun is right here. Show him the Villiers 9mm.
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
So it doesn't even matter that I found my gun?
You were never supposed to lose it in the first
Okay,
place.
now that's true.
Not lost. Is your gun's natural state. You drunk bum.
Interesting. I tried not to. I can't work as well without it.
Well, you let the suspect escape. Glacia something. Because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
Okay, but we have actually solved this murder. Can we, like, tell him this?
We've read the reports. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Clausia, she was some kind of spy from the Occident, specially trained.
Oh, well. If she was specially trained. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect who also escaped. Yeah, Robe is something. Or the fact that you're Everard Claire's little peony now. Doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 7 people who were gunned down. The streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
It was. He's got me there.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
I could be extra sorry, cop. I'm not going to be. I am too antsy to say we solved the fucking case. We solved the fucking case.
Detective, it's better if I do that.
Oh, he says in a lowered voice.
It's so much better if he does this. 1,000,000 times better.
Thank you for the input,
Okay.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He brushes a stray strand of hair out of his eye and coughs.
You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Oh, interesting.
Well, the drinking, the lost gun, also losing his badge, that's all true. And he's been drinking on the job.
A cold gust of wind. He pulls up his collar.
The man sighs deeply.
Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize, profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder.
Oh no.
It's not a good communication strategy for an officer.
Okay.
It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He's even gotten involved in a highly theoretical underground reading group, which, again, for a police officer, is unusual.
I would be so interested to see this recap with other choices. Like, if I weren't a communist or, you know, it's interesting. If I weren't sorry cop.
You should yell something.
Should I? I am a policeman of the state to come. Or, that's not a good idea. Oh, it's not a good
Yes,
idea.
let's let the big boys talk.
Yeah. I don't want to interrupt Kim.
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea. And the drugs, of course. Some kind of anti-radiation drug he uses to induce visions. But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I have seen, in fact.
He breathes in sharply.
He can talk human beings into telling him everything. And he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven.
I mean, I did have that little bit of time when I couldn't get through to Titus, and it was very frustrating. But Kim's right, we did persevere.
Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Somehow that's even better since I failed the check. You know, like Kim recognizes the passion and the feeling, even if the singing itself was awful. And that's, Kim.
Okay, you did something.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
I know, I'm almost hesitant for them to bring that up. Like, they're gonna think we're even more crazy, but we do have the photograph.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand.
I hope it doesn't get lost.
You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Let's see. Boom shakalaka, motherfucker. I'm a pretty okay detective and an absolutely giant communist. I think I'm gonna have to go with boom shakalaka, motherfucker.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
No, it's just amazing. Things can be amazing, Jean-Luc Maire, without being connected to the case.
Detective?
Oh, right, yes. I believe the pheromone it emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation.
The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
Everything's connected. It's Dirk Gently after all.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Right?
Yes. It really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
His tired eyes follow the photo as the lieutenant puts it away.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
I don't think this helps my case very much. The killer, Lilianovich Dross, we have a strong motive for him.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
A revolutionary matronym?
The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Larsovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
Excellent. It was jealousy. Yeah, he killed the mercenary in an act of jealousy.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years. Like 70-something.
A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason, said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
Yeah, it's more than that. It's a perfect folding mechanism, like the phasmid.
Perfect folding mechanism. Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
He rolls his eyes.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there. Like in your bones or something.
This is true. The dead man on the boardwalk, a missing person I found.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
How did you know I found him?
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, detective.
She says quietly. I don't know if I want to... I'll bring up the phasmid. The phasmid was female of the Reed's Art's nest.
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female, and the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
Yeah, it'd gather items in the nest, a helmet, a scope, a passport.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates.
Bowers are built by males of the species who can't afford colorful mating displays physically. This one was plain colored.
Interesting. Yeah, sure, it could have been male, actually.
Must be robust if it can move a helmet with its limbs.
He trails off, lost in thought.
It could maybe roll it, like a dung beetle.
Interesting. I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so?
It told me? Did it tell us? Shit, did it tell us? I'll just say just a hunch, because if I remember, if my memory were better, and I remembered it telling you, I would say this. I know it says something, just a hunch.
Well, then it wouldn't matter if it's a male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yes.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
Interesting. He looks around, quickly assessing the coast. Alright. It had mandibles that looked like hair, and it was completely white on the inside.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Will it?
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
It is.
Without it,
He shakes his head.
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still.
Alright, we're gonna go out on a high note. I don't think they care about the Mystery of the Doom commercial area, and I don't think I want to admit that I let them start a drug lab. What do you say? Want to take this hot shit back? Point to yourself.
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder.
He shrugs.
So I have to. Jude,
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
A quick nod.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Wait, I have a few questions before we go about who I am.
The man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who am I? Okay, let's see how these
Who
go.
are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry.
What?
Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but
But before.
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
A guerrilla soldier gym teacher?
no, a regular one.
Oh. That does explain a lot.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair.
Inexplicable facial hair. The collection of fallen sportswear I've amassed.
The fact that you don't seem to know what homosexuality is.
Oh my god. Oh, Harry.
Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy.
Oh my
And
god.
this guy, too.
That's hilarious.
God, even this javelin throwing freak here.
Oh god. Contact Mike.
Of course. Contact Mike.
That's right.
He's been on about Mike again. I hate that
The
guy.
detective shakes his head. Oh my god. Contact Mike is a reprise of the most inspiring basic sporting principle of open competition. A 5001 rank outsider. I don't know if that's a good thing. I think
Oh,
so.
you don't say. Does he also vault an impassable gulf of finance and privilege?
He arches an eyebrow.
It is getting cold out.
She looks around at the dilapidated fishing village. Okay, when was this? When was I a gym teacher?
In your 20s or late 20s. You've really let yourself go since then.
He looks you over. Is it Quran? I was a gym teacher there.
Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The
Interesting.
smell of sweat and glue. The worn floorboards. Coudon is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Assel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
Why he's so juvie. That's amazing. I love this. They're like, it just feels, it's so funny. They're like, okay, let's just fill in all the gaps. Okay, alright. Why did I join the RCM then?
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
Okay, I see now.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
I love how excited Kim is about these revelations. Why am I like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
Yeah, okay, we knew all that.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Was her name Dora?
Yeah. Dora England, I think.
Not Dora Dubois.
Wait, Dora Ingerlund?
Something like that. Half Vazan.
Vasa is where beautifully and impossibly blonde people come from.
We weren't even married.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol.
When was this?
God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way before my time.
It could have been 6-3. Let's go 3. 6 years?
Yeah. Or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Durangalon really tore you a new one. A big one.
Who was she?
Incredibly bangable.
What? Huh? Huh?
She was extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Snow Welkin, Blonde Welkin, Pain Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
She turns to face the sea.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
Okay. Am I a dirty cop working for La Puta Madre?
No.
Hey! No, because the suspects seem to think...
You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
Alright. Alright. We'll take
I
it.
assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
He would immediately backpedal out of it.
Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, Precinct 41, what kind of station is it?
Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You're just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
He tilts his head northward.
Get back to it. We left Torson and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good.
Torson and McLean?
Mac the Torso Torson and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
They are damn iconic though, Torson and McLean.
An iconic duo, I take it?
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage.
And the Sea Wing is...
God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
He smiles. And Price is...
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Did we recently shoot up a church by any chance? Point to the church. Why am I asking this?
So he remembers that.
Oh, shit.
Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
What happened? Why do we need to go there?
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up.
Your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot of the Union headquarters.
Ah, interesting. Alright, so I work at the Bloody Murder Station.
Okay. It's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there. Hard. Every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershaw. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
I love how Kim is, like, quietly supportive of them as well. Yes, the Phasmid. I have to tell Lena about it.
Who is Lena?
She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road in Jamrock, remember?
A cryptozoologist. She lives in Jamrock on Tabernacle Road. She told me about this Phasmid.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
She looks at Vikmar.
Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyway.
Yes.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
Alright, Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About what?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol.
He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflected in the lenses of his glasses.
I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Distant traffic. A scrap of newspaper drifts by, carried by the wind. It says, tensions rise in Terminal YC in light of the débardeurs strike in Terminal B. Among representatives of every industry in Coal City. You read.
Want to do that at Station 41?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering.
No. Come work with us, Kim. Come be part of us. I'm gonna investigate. Come work at Precinct 41.
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
A crooked smile quivers on his lips.
This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
The lieutenant turns very serious all of a sudden.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
She says with a smile.
I do like the sound of that.
He returns her smile. Trophy earned, recruit Detective Kim Kitsuragi. Yes! Okay. There we go. I'm content. I'm happy. There we go.
He's really considering it.
Yes. Alright, I'm ready. And
Good.
she looks at you, then Vikmar.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
The great district hums in the slowly falling snow. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, to Boogie Street, forking into the white horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vikmar? Yes. Dubois? Yes. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Potomny Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
End. Is this the end of the game? I feel like this is it. Oh. That's good. They should support Harry. Literally. Like he just did. Holy shit. What a game. What a game. I enjoyed the heck out of this game. Like, so much incredible stuff. And so many things that could have gone so differently. Like, it really does make me want to replay it with a different build. Just knowing what I know now, but seeing the variation, I think would be really fun. This was an incredible experience. I really, really liked it. I really did. I know I got a little frustrated a couple times when I felt stuck, but it's just because I felt stuck. But like, I don't think that would happen again. I know more now. If I were to play it again, I would kind of know how to smooth out some of those things. What an experience. I loved Ken Kitsuragi, like, new favorite video game character, right? Absolutely. And Harry was just, I love how inept he seems at first. It's just he's a total mess. He is a mess. And by the end here, it's like he's still a mess, but you see his strengths. You know, you see how the mechanics of the game are tied to his actual personality and abilities in a really deep way that is just, it's so different than I'm used to seeing in a game. Man, I loved it. This was great. Alright, I am gonna go. This has been delightful. Thank you all for watching. I've had a lot of great comments on this series, which I've greatly enjoyed seeing. Yeah, thank you all. And I'll catch y'all on another game, maybe. Bye.